for a few years here. They're giving them some extra clothes that they had, some water, some food, all trying to help them through a really tragic experience. Now, as you mentioned, James, as well, we will be continuing on this investigation. Whenever the fire department says whatever the cause was and the origin of this fire, we'll make sure to have it for you on our website, WREX.com. For now, reporting live in Loves Park for your 13 Weather Authority, I'm William Ingalls. James, back to you.
Neighbors helping neighbors there tonight, William. Thank you. New at 10 tonight, 3 restaurants in Winnebago County ordered to close their doors for not stopping indoor dining. The Winnebago County Health Department ordered Fozzie's Bar and Grill, Doc's Diner, and Neighbors Bar and Grill to close. Per Health Department policy, they have been referred to the City of Loves Park for potential suspension of their license, along with the Winnebago County State's Attorney. Public Administrator Dr. Sandra Martell from the Health Department says it is frustrating that a small number of businesses are not complying with the state's order for our region. Winnebago County Health Department is hosting a press conference about COVID-19 tomorrow, 2 p.m. This topic will likely be discussed. You can watch it on our WREX Facebook page. So let's talk about those procedures. First, the health department receives a complaint about a business not following state guidelines. That could be no enforcement of masks or social distancing or opening right now for indoor dining in Region 1. After that, the health department must follow up with that business in person to make sure the complaint is accurate. During a second visit, it will issue a notice for non-compliance if the business does not comply. And if it does not meet state guidelines, the health department will issue a notice to disperse, and it will revoke the food establishment permit, liquor licenses, and/or gaming licenses. The Harlem Teachers Union says it is disappointed the board did not approve the superintendent's plan to move to remote learning over the holiday season. Last night, Harlem School Board tabled that decision, saying it wanted to make parents decide. In a letter sent to the school board tonight, the Harlem Federation of Teachers says the superintendent worked with the Winnebago County Health Department and did not take the move to remote learning recommendation lightly. It says that with in-person learning and a chance to switch to remote at any time, it doesn't give any time to plan or prepare. Board weighed issues last night like students' social and emotional needs and the need for childcare throughout the day. Well, the Illinois Gaming Board could soon decide the fate of Rockford's casino license. A special meeting is set 2 weeks from tomorrow, October 29th. Gaming Board is running out of time to approve the decision for the Hard Rock Casino license. By law, it has a year to do so. That expires October 28th. The IGB must send a notice of extension with a reason why and when it will decide on the license approval process. It would not tell us if Rockford's Casino will be on that October 29th meeting. The city and the Hard Rock both tell 13 WREX they have not yet received any notice of extension. And the Loves Park Police Department tonight mourns the loss of one of its own. The department says this retired Sergeant Lori DePau died Saturday after a long battle with MSA. DePau started with the department back in 1992 as a dispatcher. After being hired as a police officer, she worked in the patrol division and narcotics unit before being promoted to sergeant in 2014. She retired in 2018 after serving the department for more than 25 years. And you can also honor Deputy Chief Donald Gasparini Jr. at a public visitation. Gasparini Jr., who was with the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office, died suddenly on Sunday. He was not on duty at the time. The visitation is Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. at State Line Church on North Perryville Road. Law enforcement honors scheduled from 2 to 3 in the afternoon. And we now know the name of a man found dead on Parmalee Street in Rockford earlier this week. 54-year-old Andre Bolds found inside this home in the 2300 block of Parmalee Monday afternoon. The coroner's office says he died of blunt force trauma to the head. Police have not yet released any more details regarding this death, but they did say they are investigating it as a homicide. It marks Rockford's 25th homicide of the year. For comparison, we had only 18 murders in all of last year. We are nearing a record number of homicides in the city, 31 set in 1996. Rockford police say they need more help to step up and more people to come forward with information relating to these murders so they can help solve them. And tonight we are digging deeper into how many murders go unsolved in the city of Rockford. Of the 25 murders so far this year, 17 are unsolved, according to numbers obtained by 13 WREX in a Freedom of Information Act request. It's a high number compared to last year. 18 murders happened, only 3 still remain unsolved. 5 of 2018's 21 murders are unsolved, but the number gets worse. Go back to 2016, where Rockford only solved half of its murders. In 2015, only 7 of the city's 19 murders are solved to this date. In fact, in the last 5 years, Rockford has only solved about half of its murders, 56.3%. Compare that to the national average, 61.7%. Those are the most recent numbers from the FBI. They're from 2017. In Decision 2020 coverage, now Election Day just under 3 weeks away. On your ballot is a race stirring up debate, and it doesn't even contain candidates. It's the proposed tax amendment. Some proponents named it the fair tax, but opponents say it is anything but. 13 News reporter Mary Sugden explains what it would do and what people for and against the amendment want you to know.
They say there's two certainties in life: death and taxes. But what remains uncertain is the income tax that Illinoisans will pay following this election. But it's no surprise the topic of taxes in Illinois sparks debate.
I plan to vote no on it because during the pandemic, people are hurting. And, there's a lot of people that can't pay their rent, their mortgages, buy food, put food on the table. And this is the absolute wrong time for this.
I'm going to vote for the progressive tax. I feel like it would be a fair situation for all of Rockfordians and Illinoisans. There's a lot of people struggling below poverty level, some people who can't even afford to pay their bills.
I voted no for it because I don't want them raising my taxes without some kind of representation. To me it's just crazy.
But let's get down to what this amendment would change. Right now, if you live in Illinois, your income is taxed at a flat rate of 4.95%.
The flat tax says that someone who's making a huge amount of money, say $1 million, pays the same percentage of income as someone who's making, say, $30,000 a year.
But if the tax amendment is approved, not everyone will pay the same percentage. Here's how it would work for a single filer. If they make $10,000 or less a year, they'd be taxed 4.75%. If they make up to $100,000, a 4.9% tax. Above that, to $250,000, you'd pay the current rate of 4.95%. People who would pay the highest rate, 7.99%, are those making more than $750,000 a year.
Which is vertical equity, which is the more someone has the ability to pay, the more they ought to pay, or the reverse, the less someone has the ability to pay, the lower should be their tax liability.
Governor Pritzker says the change would bring in $3.4 billion more per year. Proponents of the amendment say the flat rate is outdated, with Illinois being one of only 9 states in the U.S. to use one, arguing it prevents Illinois from properly funding public services.
And this can cause budget deficits at every level of government, pushes up property taxes, and can force harmful cuts to education, human services, healthcare, infrastructure, public safety, and jobs.
Audra Wilson, president and CEO of the Shriver Center on Poverty Law, believes the proposed amendment doesn't give legislators any more powers than they already have, and believes the structure holds the power to relieve property tax burdens and provide relief to many families, especially low and middle class working families.
And under the fair tax or graduated rate income tax, 97% of taxpayers would actually get a tax cut.
Some opponents claim this graduated tax system would open up